Hi, everybody. I hope you are all well, doing well. Fourth year students, really, I don't want to know what is the number of fourth year students because what I've seen there are only 10. Uh, through the PDF I sent, only 10 of you answered the questions. So if you think that this PDF is of no use at all, I decided to record the lectures again and send them to you. So in this case, you don't have any excuse. Yeah, please listen to it and try to understand, to concentrate, and to answer the questions I sent you or the assignment I sent you, because they will be graded. So please take it seriously. Uh, you remember the first chapter we already discussed in the classroom for those who were there. And for the rest, I'm not going to waste their time. I'll repeat it again because we repeat it so many times. So we start with the lecture 2, with the structure of the sentence, chapter 2. And when we finish, if you think that you need to go back to it, then we'll go back to it again. But let's start with chapter 2, which is concerned with the structure of the sentence. For those who attended my classes, they all knew that English is different from Latin. English, the structure of English depends on word order, mainly on word order, while in case of Latin, it depends on the form of the words. Not only do the words have a specific order, but they also cluster together in groups within the sentence. So these groups may combine with other groups to form larger ones. Let us examine the example given and then we talk about it. Here, the child drinks the milk. So if you look at this, we have two groups. The first group is the child, and the second group is it drinks the milk. So the first group, as you all know, we refer to as the noun phrase, and it functions as the subject. Yeah, it consists of the determiner or the article the and the noun child. Drinks the milk is the verb phrase. Which consists of the verb drinks and then the object, the milk. So this sentence consists of two groups. The first one is the child, and the second group is drinks the milk. The first group is referred to as noun phrase. In a transformational generative grammar, they call it noun phrase, not only noun. And we will explain later why they call it noun phrase and not noun. And the second group is called verb phrase and not only verb. The noun, why do we call it noun phrase? Because we have more than, in addition to the noun, we have an article. So the noun is the chief element in the first group, and the verb is the chief element in the second group. So in transformational generative grammar, and the abbreviation for it, TGG, from now on, we use TGG as an abbreviation for Transformational Generative Grammar. وقلنا احنا عليه هو النحو التوليدي التحويلي أو التحويلي التوليدي because transformational يحول وgenerative معناه يولد. The above structure of the sentence can be represented by the following rule. So according to TGG, they have rules which they call phrase structure rules just to clarify the structure of the sentence. So the above sentence consists of two groups, as we mentioned, MP and VP, noun phrase and verb phrase. But they add to it the sentence consists of a nucleus. Nucleus هي النواة. نواة الجملة هي هذه تتكون من noun phrase and verb phrase. So we have an additional rule here. The sentence can be rewritten as نقدر نكتبها ك أو تتكون من nucleus اللي هي النواة, and then a nucleus consists of noun phrase plus verb phrase. So every sentence, according to TGG, every sentence has a nucleus. The arrow, of course, you have to know the meaning of every abbreviation and the meaning of every rule and even the meaning of the arrow because they are all meaningful in TGG. The arrow means that the sentence consists of. So I have just mentioned that the sentence can be rewritten as a nucleus, and that nucleus consists of or can be written as noun phrase plus verb phrase. So the order of the elements in the sentence is fixed. To go back again to our point that it depends on word order. So I have to have the child first and then drinks the milk after, which means that this is a fixed order, noun phrase plus verb phrase, not the opposite. But sometimes we have a modifier which describes the whole sentence, not only noun phrase, not only verb phrase, but the whole sentence. It refers to the whole sentence, as in case of yes, the child drinks the milk. So here, yes is a modifier. You know the meaning of modifier يعني يصف نوع من أنواع الصفات نسميها modifier, which describes the whole sentence. Then we have to put it before the sentence. Because it describes the whole sentence, we have to put it at the beginning, sorry. And it is separated here by comma. Yes, the child drinks the milk. So here we have modifier and then we have noun phrase. So before we go with the analysis of sentences, we need to stop and give definitions of the terms used in TGG. So what do you mean by noun phrase? We have already mentioned ذكرناها بس نحاول نعطي تعريف لها according to TGG. Noun phrase, it is the name of the structure that functions as the complete subject of a sentence. So noun phrase is a form, is a structure. But what is the function of that structure? It functions as the subject of a sentence. The verb phrase, sorry, here you have to add verb phrase. Please add the word verb phrase, yeah. I really added it, but it didn't show. So it is the structure that functions as the complete predicate. إذن الverb phrase يكون هو احنا مثلا نقول بالعربي ذاك المبتدأ وهذا الخبر. So this means that a distinction must be made between form or structure and function. So what is the form of the child? It is a noun phrase. But what is the function of the child? It is the subject of the sentence. What is the form or the structure of drinks the milk? It is the verb phrase. The function, it is the predicate. So the sentence here consists of two groups, two parts, the verb of noun phrase and verb phrase. A single noun, the noun phrase could be a single noun, as in John or Ahmed. It could be a pronoun, as in he or she. It could be a determiner, أو احنا نسميها article, plus a noun, as in the child. فإذا this is the reason why we call it noun phrase and not noun. Because if I say a noun only, then I have only John or Ahmed, but I cannot say a pronoun he or she. I cannot say the child. So a very comprehensive term, مصطلح شامل يشمل ثلاث حالات. ممكن أن يكون a single noun, it could be a single noun, it could be a pronoun, it could be an article plus noun or a determiner plus noun. The same true is of the verb phrase. It could be a single verb, as in drinks. It could be a group of, because you have an auxiliary plus the verb, and sometimes we have an object after. We call the whole thing verb phrase, and it functions as the predicate. So this is the definition or the meaning of noun phrase and verb phrase. Again, don't forget to add the word verb phrase. The third term, which you need also definition for it, is the word rule. The use of the term rule in transformational grammar is different from that, is different from that in traditional grammar. It is different from that in traditional grammar. Why? Because the term rule in traditional grammar means an explanation of how to punctuate a sentence or how to avoid errors. While in TGG, the rule is a direction for forming a sentence. It shows you as how to form a sentence. So the same word rule is used both in a traditional grammar and in a transformational grammar, but they have different meanings. You might be asked, how different is the term rule in traditional grammar and in a transformational grammar? You have to say, in a traditional grammar, it is an explanation. It helps me to explain. It helps me to punctuate a sentence. It helps me to avoid errors. But in TGG, no, it directs me as how to form a sentence. So, another way of representing the structure of the sentence is by use of tree diagrams. Yani there are two ways of showing the structure of the sentence in TGG. So you will be asked to work on both. I either ask you to give me the phrase structure rules or to draw tree diagrams for the sentence. So you have to know both. It is the same. The phrase structure rule helps you as how to draw the tree diagram because it is exactly the same. But this is another way of showing the structure of the sentence, which means there are two ways for showing the structure of the sentence, either through phrase structure rules or through tree diagrams. So look at this. All rules in TGG are numbered. rules خلينا لها P هو المختصر إلى phrase structure rule. So we have a phrase structure rule 1, we have a phrase structure rule 2, phrase structure rule 3. So up to now we have only two phrase structure rules, which are P1 is the sentence can be rewritten as a nucleus. Sometimes we have sentence modifier, SM for sentence modifier, and the nucleus, sorry لازم اكو arrow هنا, should consist of noun phrase plus verb phrase. So another way of showing it, look at the tree diagram. It's the same thing. The sentence consists of sentence modifier, مختصر SM for sentence modifier, يعني اللي يصف الجملة بشكل كامل, is the word yes. A nucleus اللي قلنا عليه النواة consists of noun phrase plus verb phrase. The noun phrase consists of the child and the verb phrase consists of drinks the milk. I give a very general tree diagram because in the coming lectures we are going to go into details with the tree diagrams because we have to rewrite noun phrase as either single noun or pronoun or determiner plus noun. The verb phrase should be rewritten as sometimes auxiliary and tense of the auxiliary and the verb and the object. So this is enough for this lecture 2. Thank you.